Are you kidding me? And an incredible catch. You are kidding me. Oh my God. One of the plays of the
Welcome back. We're live for some more ultimate action here. Mixed division, Pool C. Flammes on Rose out of Montreal, Reset out of Toronto. A spicy one for you. We thank you for tuning in. Theo Wan here with Clay Howlett. Clay, the band is back together.
The band is back together.
We're on the mic. We're fired up for this game. What can we look forward to?
Diversity on offense, as you and I were talking about earlier. I got to play Flammes on Rose last year, and they were running a lot of their stuff through just a few people, so it's going to be very curious to see how they have developed, and what they're going to do here. As for Reset, it's a friend team. I'm just noticing number 15 on the sideline here totally destroyed my team last year after we lost a crushing Universe Pool loss. So I am looking forward to seeing some domination out of him and the Reset team. And we are going to have some more info to bring you along this game, as there's some weight attached to this pool play game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of weight, as you mentioned. In previous action, Reset bested Dinner at 4 by 1. Dinner at 4 had taken down this Montreal-based team by 2. So there's a little three-way tie thing going on. We'll keep you posted on that, and teams are very aware of the scoreline. The teams that finished second and third in the pool will play in the pre-quarter round. Big Cat in this pool is already qualified by virtue of their wins. So Flammes on Rose coming out in white. We're getting a look at the Reset offensive line right now. Clay, we talked about it's a new team, but familiar faces that have played together. So it's not like they're just random people. They've played together. They're going to know each other pretty well.
Yeah, they're all going to have that chemistry built up, ready to go. If you want to participate in this tournament, you come up with a team name. A good old Reset for the Masters to shake the rust off here. But they're definitely going to excel at their knowledge, or with their knowledge of each other.
Joey Chung, middle handler right now, finding Terrence Chung. No relation, I believe. There's actually 3 Chungs on this team. Warren Tag now, head coach of Union, going around, and a foul is going to be called there. Louis Lemieux on the mark. Raphael. No contest, so disc will remain in the hands of Tang. He's also doing some Team Canada coaching, right?
He is, right? Yes. I've had many meetings with this man. Did you know that he's really good at, once in a while, 50-50 double booking meetings. Always finishes our meetings by going to another meeting.
Quinn going with some vision, and he's going to pick it up off the shoe tops is Chris McKee. That's a Waterloo Warriors connection for the score.
So I'm actually seeing some players that played Flow last year.
Yes.
On this Reset team. Flo did make it into the top 8 at Canadian Nationals in Kelowna last year. Just used a lot of speed and athleticism to get the job done. Flam.
Terrence Chung was, I think, part of that group as well, right? So
yes, he was, yeah. So Flam on Rose, I see number 13 going out to the line there. That's Philippe Denis Villeneuve, big Air Force member for Flam on Rose. Did a lot of work in previous games, previous years of just coming down with everything in the air. So looking forward to see if he still has that role on this team.
And we talk about a group of friends. This team in Montreal, they started their program about 6 years ago, and they wanted that extra competition because you got league games out here, but you need the extra competition. And that's why they're out here playing in this tournament, a Masters team, getting some reps. They've played during the season. So both of these teams have, in fact. So it's not like they're just a first tournament for them. Zone look here from Reset, trying to gummy things up. Flammes on Rose now in motion. Perot getting it over to Kaiser, going vision of his own, trying to slice and dice. About 5 yards away, back to the aforementioned Kaiser. Reset still in their zone look here. Kennel and Kaiser working a little give-go. Swinging it around, finds Page. Christina Page now with a couple fakes. Person defense here, it looks like, as Kennel unmarked. Going to get the disc, but they're going backwards.
They The zone's working. Lots of teams won't hold zones this long as they do kind of melt into a match, but it worked. Kept them out of the end zone.
Now the lefty, the southpaw, throwing it out there. Denis Villeneuve will find Page for the score. So clean holds to get this game going.
Reset seemed to, like, they were holding that zone, and as you said, they were, like, had Flammes moving backwards, and it was working. But as soon as they melted into a match defense, Page was not picked up and just left alone. So a pretty easy cross-field break there to a wide-open receiver. So I imagine Reset will having a little discussion about how they're going to melt in the end zone, who they're going to have to pick up to not let that happen again.
Denis Villeneuve with the assist. Had 4 assists coming to this contest. Reset, back out on offense. We saw a visionary throw from 27, Dan Huynh. But he's not on the field right now. Looks like Donald Kwok, Chris McKee out there. Jess Gia, Joey Chung. Trying to identify the last few members here. Selena Chan is out there.
I think it's Terrence Chung, number 14.
You're right, Terrence Chung out there as well.
Yeah. He is very fast.
Speedster. Amanda Moore's out there as well. I see that's the last person on the line. Chung, the former Sixers player with the disc. Couple fakes, inside shot to Kwok. Nice grab to keep things alive from Selena Chan. Believe that was another member of Flow, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Try to do the extra research here. McKee now.
Yeah.
Finding Gia. There's a few of these players also playing the senior division, at least on this Reset squad. Chris McKee being one of them, playing with KW Crash, and that throw is going to evade the left hand of Moore. And so Flammes on Rose, break opportunity, the first one of this game, folks. See how they take advantage. Receiver going deep. Chung in coverage. 2-hand strong with the grab is D'Amato. And it's ruled a goal. Captain D'Amato reels it in.
Big backhand break, very hard to cover. That was just a slow, kind of sure read there by D'Amato, and recognizing her height advantage, I think she just took her time. So Reset now looking like they're going to put out their O-line that they started the game with. And Theo is working his hardest to find out who got the assist here, but no one understands the sign language. I wish you could see it. Anyway, Flammes Rose demonstrating that they're not afraid to huck. I mean, getting a break side huck off, kind of almost like impossible to play defense again if the huck is thrown properly. That one did sail up for a little while and give the defense a chance, but like I said, Catherine D'Amato just using her height. Now Flammes Rose on the sideline, pretty pumped up after that goal, but Reset doing some cheers, keeping themselves in it.
They were cheering before the game as well, so they got the vibes going. It's always interesting, Clay, to watch when teams have the vibes. Do you have vibes when you go down a couple? Because that's the big thing.
You have to if you want any chance, and that's the hardest thing sometimes when you're losing.
Nice little female matching ISO stack, but this throw's going to float up and be snatched away by Louis Lemieux. So now a second straight turnover on a second straight possession for Reset. Can Flammes on Rose take advantage? The captain of this team, Cloutier, ripping it forward. Quick movement right now. And LaChance Tourette's throw not going to work out. So Reset will get the disc back.
Like that run and gun offense, but just seem to get ahead of themselves.
Maybe too much run, not enough gun there. So they can't get the throw completed. Quinn now with it. Nice little round. He's got breaks. Finds Kwok. Kwok keeping things moving to 10. Cloutier in coverage. Cloutier trying to drop off. Doing a little poach action. Stopping some of that flow from reset. Little bump of the mark on Huynh. Huyn's going to play through it and look deep for Kwok. Kwok working against Cloutier. Cloutier throwing his left arm up, but it'll be Kwok who comes down with the score. And Dan Huynh gets his second assist of the game already, as it's 2-all. You like to see the rebound here from reset because, as we talked about, sometimes things can go a little awry, and you're able to bounce back like that after getting broken, get the O-line back out there, even though there was a turnover, able to reset.
I see. I was kind of waiting.
You're waiting for that.
Come on, man.
The jokes write themselves, is what I've been told.
Is that part of Masters?
Might be.
So, Reset's D-line earlier was very willing to hold the zone all the way down the field. And it was really effective. And they actually only got scored on when they kind of botched their melt-to-match defense and just left, a cutter who happened to be in the end zone uncovered. So I am curious and kind of expectant to see a zone come down here. The poll is sure going to support that.
Kaiser to receive. Finding Paget, who caught the goal earlier, their first point of the game. Kaiser now power position. Thought about it, but going to go down underneath to Rate Boulien. Kaiser now with it once again. They go fast here as this Montreal team. Rate Boulien trying to activate. Lots of people there, but avoiding contact. Keeping things safe out in the Masters Championships. Now, Rate Boulien's throw is going to be short, but caught. Up the line for the score, bursting through Bautrin.
Flam's just looking so comfortable and ready to go on offense. Just absolutely having no feelings of hesitation. All teams have miscues, but Flam seems really dialed in. What I'm really not hearing is any sort of conflict amongst the players asking, hey, you should have cut, or someone with the disc yelling at where are my cuts, or who's coming under, or where's my reset, or anything like that. Flam just seems to be taking their time with the disc, but at the same time always timing their cuts that they don't really need to hold on to it for very long.
You see the quick movement that they're working with. Us as the commentators have less chance to catch our breath because they're just going so fast. This Flam on Rose team played this reset team earlier in the year at MGM and was told it wasn't close. It was about 15-8. Maybe they felt the game was closer. The score certainly wasn't. And so they've learned from that. They know they need to have patient offense, especially in the end zone. Need to convert breaks, which it goes without saying, but those were kind of the takeaways they had from that matchup.
Yeah. If you want to think about it in the meta sense, too, when you have a game that perhaps was really competitive, but you just couldn't convert while the other team did, and you end up with a score like that, Reset comes into the game thinking, oh, we beat these guys 15-8. But maybe the game actually was closer than they thought, right? And Flam on Rose, on the other hand, are just jazzed to play.
Nice little lefty from Chris McKee to get things moving. Gia now loading this up. Thought there might have been a pick call, but it's going to be a goal. Gia finding Samantha Chung, or Sam Chung, excuse me, for the score.
Score 3-all. Just efficient offense in that match defense from both teams.
What I like to see, especially from this reset team right now, is that they've tried to do some split stacks where they're just isolating their female matching players, Clay. So trying to get everyone involved. We often sometimes see in the mixed division, if you look at the top 10 scoring leaders, it's often male matching dominated, but they're trying to use, you got all the players on the field, you got to use all of them. So that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and I think teams are learning too, like with the newer rules in mixed of having that gender ratio, and when I say newer, I mean in the last 5 years or so, but teams are learning to actually leverage the female matching players far better on the female matching points, changing tactics on offense, what sort of plays and patterns you're going to run to actually set up your women not to have to deal with a giant poach in the middle of the field or something like that. Like, teams are learning how to truly play the mixed game that way.
And you have to. Because if you try to do it a different way, it's not going to work out. You see the top teams, they're going to use everyone, and they're going to play certain strategies as well when there's a female matching point or a male matching point. That's part of the meta. Francis Raté-Bouillon, nice around break. Kendall now. Good coverage from Chung. But it's going to stay with Flammes on Rose. Raté-Bouillon going with the hammer. Massé was there, but just bouncing it out of the hands. So the first turnover from the O-line by my count.
Yeah, just a little bit of a miscue. She was wide open, just bounced out of her hands. The sun was in her eyes.
Now David Ip with the disc. Goes around to Jeanette Wan. Jeanette Wan having played with the Arizona Sidewinders of the Western Ultimate League, so that's a fun fact for you. Just through, unfortunately, the turnover there. So commentators jinx as she makes the throw.
As soon as you say something nice.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Paget's been very involved for this Flammes Rose team. Number 12 here, now getting directed by Kaiser. Kaiser needs something. Finds Kennel for a quick dish underneath. Reset's coming a little tighter right now from the Montreal squad as there's I believe a pick called. You could see that things are clamping down from the Toronto side, especially on defense.
Yeah, what I'm not enjoying so much right now is Flammes Rose, like on offense, they're getting it closer and closer to the sideline they're being forced to, and they are not looking left. They are not looking to the break side. They're not getting the disc and even ignoring everyone else upfield just to get it uphill. Now we're seeing that look right away.
Nice little shimmy cut. And that's going to be smooth. Bao Trin catching a second goal. Raté-Bouillon, another assist. He played for Quack, which is a Masters Open team at PAOK recently, but taking his talents over to the mixed division this year.
Score 4-3?
4-3.
Yeah, Flammes Rose still showing the energy. Reset looking like they're going to take a timeout. Maybe talk about what they're looking for on defense. I mean, in this huddle, I'm going to put on my coaching hat. Timeout taken by Reset. I'm just going to put on my coaching hat for a second.
Do it, Clay. Do it, please.
I would imagine if you're Reset right now, you're probably talking about how Flammes Rose is just putting it up the open side constantly. Their resets are always working hard for the upline to get the open side, and they haven't shown yet at all that they were willing to go around or throw the IO break. There's just no kind of break side urgency, no kind of work getting done to get it over there. So while Reset is going to be on offense after this point, obviously they're going to get a little organized with this. I feel that they're probably also talking about, hey, Flammes Rose is kind of just running us as an open side team right now. We need to clamp underneath and take that away. Conversely, I think if you're Flam, I think you're just trying to get the timing of your offense faster because they've been quite late right now. A lot of the cuts coming under, like I'm finding the handlers are looking at the receiver, looking at the dump, looking at the receiver, looking at the dump. Those receivers, those cutters need to be quick, early, and make a really committed cut so then that person with the disc can just immediately decide yes or no and then turn to their reset and stick with it.
I like the timeout call. I want to see what line. I think they're going to go standard offensive line, which makes sense, but they're sensing you get two, right, Clay? So they're sensing perhaps that there could be a momentum shift if they change something strategically, so they decide to take it. Can't take those timeouts with you in a half, so you might as well use them.
Yeah. They grace the tournament with 2 timeouts per half. It's good for heat and legs.
Some tournaments they got like the heat timeouts when it gets really hot.
That's true.
In certain parts, especially in some USAU tournaments. Chung with the pole catch. Love that moxie right there. Z look, and basically a straight up blade from Huynh to get things moving. McKee now on the run. Huynn's leading his team in assists. He's got a bevy of throws. Inside shot and fire called, indicating that they're going to go into match defense. Tang finds McKee. McKee about 20-ish yards away, just near the opposing brick mark. Over to Tang, who's now at the opposing brick mark. Gia bursting out of the stack to get that disc. Threw the assist earlier to Samantha Chung. Now going up line. Working against Couture. Inside shot now, McKee with it. Big step out from the lanky handler, and he's going to find Chung for the score. 33 with the assist.
Seemed like it was going to be a pass that was too far, but Terrence Chung is so fast that getting that low backhand around is just no problem. You can pretty much put that anywhere you want in bounds. So Theo, tell me, what are you feeling right now?
About this game?
Well, yeah.
This game has got a lot going on. It's been tight throughout, but one break is what separates Montreal currently. So, yes, it's tied, but by the ultimate metrics, Montreal is up a break. So, Reset's going to have to figure something out. They start on offense in this game, so Montreal, Flammes Rose, will start on offense in the second half. And, you know, it's never too early for a little O-line crossover. Huynh on the field right now with the disc. So they're saying, hey, we got to load up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's smart. Last point, they were just showing like a real chilly offense through that zone. They really had no problem with it because they were very patient and just had to make, 30 throws to march a disc upfield like 5 yards at a time. And that was easy, right? So maybe trying to get that O-line energy here into D-line. I'd like to see a zone. Personally, it worked really well at the beginning of the game, but they haven't used it in a little while.
Kennel with the disc now. Kaiser and Kennel have been stalwarts for this offensive line. So as Denis Villeneuve, needing a reset, finds a safe one in Kennel. As we mentioned the last point, Reset has been playing tighter defense in that space, and they get a block. Larry Zhao, and now Zhao looking for the end zone for bookends. Reset takes the lead, 5-4 the score. Huynh to Zhao. You cross Huynh over, and it pays dividends right away.
Yeah, I mean, exactly the plan, right? Meanwhile, Flammes Rose, I mean, as I was saying earlier, we're not seeing the around break. We're not seeing an immediate sense of we just flipped it backwards, we just got it to the middle, we have to keep working the disc to the break side and uphill, because if we don't, right in front of the booth here, we just saw this crazy clamp collapse of the defense. Everyone's standing in front of the disc on the open side. The passes are tight. Lots of players can make a play on it. So Flammes Rose really has to think about how they're going to get the disc uphill, as they say, all the way up to the break side and diminish this collapsing pocket around the disc.
Saw Cloutier earlier talking to his team. He plays and he coaches. A little player coach action. Sometimes you see that.
Yeah, hard to do.
I mean, it's not easy.
No.
It's not even easy when you have captains who are calling lines and also playing. It's also tough, but people make it work here. Montreal back out on offense, female matching point, it looks like, which means a female matching pull. I'm not sure where the disc is, as there's some confusion. Clay,
they don't know either.
Oh, even Flammes Rose not happy about the delay here.
Yeah.
Yifan Wong and Sandra Hansen, normally team orange, team green for this game. Throw that little change up on you. As now Jeanette Wan. No relation to myself, but same last name. We like that. Also, wearing the same number as well, because I wear 6, so this is a very odd.
You totally coordinated, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. Kevin Phillip Lee on the mark. getting some burn here on the defensive line. And another turnover here. Massé to Denis Villeneuve. And now momentum starting to really favoring this Toronto side. You can feel it, Clay.
Yeah, they've kind of figured out Flam on Rose here, and Flam were pretty uppity earlier about the progress they were making, but now that Reset's in it, they've gotten pretty quiet.
Been 2 points since that timeout, a hold and then a break. But they've just looked a more smooth and calm team right now. KPL looking for a reset. Finds Jen Lamb. I told him before the stream he would only be referenced as KPL. He's burst into the end zone now, but Zhao going to hold on to it. Finding Andrea Chan. Chan going up the line for Zhao. He's going to get a goal. Rolls into the end zone as well. Gets a second straight marker. And Oscar Bodzetta running on the field too early here. And that sometimes happens. People get excited. I get it.
Got excited.
Yeah.
Waited for the goal. Sandra there to give him the business about that right away.
Not the forearm shiver, though, right? Just like some words, right?
Yeah, just some words.
There weren't
no, not NFL style. No.
Not the forearm shiver.
Yeah.
The love tap, you know? So, back to the contest. All jokes aside here, Clay. It is not a joking matter here for Flam on Rose because what I'm saying is treading into dangerous territory. You've given up 3 straight points. One was a defensive point, I'll give you that. But 2 offensive points. They're going to put a whole new line out there that's going to be anchored by Cloutier, coach player we talked about. But I think that's smart. Not going to call a timeout, though. They're just going to put on a different line.
That is smart. You can give that line that's been struggling time to regroup. You don't really need to burn a timeout to let Reset kind of revel in their success right now and make more plans. Try and get some fresh faces out there, some fresh legs. See if they can make something a bit different happen.
And for this Reset team, able to punch it in after they get the turns. So it's not like these 5-turn points. It's actually been a very smooth game offensively. The most turns there's been in a point for each team is 1. So there hasn't been a point where there's been 2 turns for a team. So it's been quite efficient.
Okay, yeah.
Juan set to pull again. Big rip. Little OY edge on that backhand is going to settle onto the field. Vertical stack here from Montreal. Cloutier, nice little scoop up line, putting Bodzetta in the spin cycle a little bit. This throw's going to go up. Good coverage from Chung. Celeste Lalim was the intended receiver, and it's another turnover. 3 offensive points right now, 3 turnovers for Montreal. Reset to Bosian. Finding Juan. Juan at the end zone line now has Bodzetta just poached. No one covering the lefty. Bosian now. A couple people going deep, including Chung. Chung's the receiver looking for the disc. And a great shot for the score as Reset gets another break. What a throw from Bosian.
So Flam that time leveraged a good scoop cut up the line. A huck that, was to an open striker, right? It just floated too long and gave the defender a chance. But you're probably going to huck out a power position on the open side. That's pretty normal. But we're definitely not seeing much break side action still from Flam on Rose. And Reset is just playing way harder defense on the open side. They're just totally dialed in on the open side right now and really forcing the errors.
Handler coverage especially.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. I think they've really gutted the handler space, and it's just caused a lot of issues for the side from Montreal.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to get them all. Cloutier had that excellent scoop cut up the line, right? But you can't rely on that over and over and over again, which is what Flam on Rose has done so far this game. And I think, again, if I'm Reset, I'm probably telling my team, hey, sell out on the open side.
Why not?
Why not? Because they're not
make them beat you the other way.
Yeah,
you got to do it
because they haven't.
Yeah.
Right.
Centered offensive line here. Kaiser's out there. Bautrin making his way onto the field once again.
Theo, fun fact, I just heard a no offside call from Reset, and then they promptly went offside. They're playing on, though.
Little delay. This one going to pop up now. Zone look. Kevin Phillip Lee, otherwise known as KPL on the mark. Nice throw there from Rate Boulien over to Kaiser.
Yes, Larry. Yes, Jen. Yes, Jen.
Trin keeping things going. Maybe may have heard some audio from Bodzetta just getting loud in the mic. He's fired up. Page going around. And that's going to work out. Rate Boulien finds Denis Villeneuve for the score. They needed that one.
They did. And now I have my foot in my mouth. You know, reset coming down with the zone, and Flammes Rose not having a problem getting through there. However, you know, reset we've been seeing have way more success with the open side defense in match.
But the key for Montreal in that one is that they kept it moving.
That's true.
There was
Good
no
point.
stagnancy, right, Clay?
Yeah.
It was, you're going to get one throw. There was that pop-up throw to Kennel, and then immediately right back, and it just kept things going.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to lead to their success later in this game. They have to keep doing that. If they don't, it's going to be curtains, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right, because they were, even with the match defense, they're just holding on to the disc way too long. Looking upfield too long. But you're right, in that zone, it was like, oh, it's a zone. We have to move the disc, and then it didn't struggle at all.
So if you're just joining us, Montreal got the first break to go up 2-1, but it's been a timeout that reset took, kind of changed things around. They scored 3 straight, and now Montreal, a huge hole to keep things alive. I think if they had gone down half, that would have been 8-4. Let's say if they got broken, that would have been really dangerous.
Yeah.
Right now it's 7-5. If reset were to score this, to be 8-5, and that's often what they say is most dangerously in Ultimate, is because especially with Flammes Rose coming out on offense, you get that hold and you get a couple, one break or two, and then you're right back in the game. So,
Yeah.
so this is a critical.
Yeah, pretty deceptive lead.
Yeah,
right now,
it's a deceptive lead. That's what they say. There's always these cliches. I think honestly,
that's
though,
what we're here for.
but 8-5 is actually a dangerous lead if you're starting out on defense, because they get the hold and then you just never know. Joey Chung been really impressed by her handling, ushering Huynh forward. Huynh just always loading up that flick. Has Chung going deep in Terrence Chung, but it's Joey Chung now with the disc. Joey looking for Terrence. That could have been a little bit dangerous. Gauthier was there. Tang going to call the foul here on Barrett Bilodeau, one of the other captains of this Montreal team. Excuse me. Got a couple Montreal fans in the house as well supporting their squad. Right here. It's a long way to travel to Waterloo. Are the observers mic'd up here? I was going to say, are they mic'd?
No, unfortunately not. But
It would be sweet if they were.
generally they've been I'd say all the players so far today, and our observers have been good with the hand signals. Observers quick to resolve the calls with the players on the field. So, been refreshing. I mean, with this division, most of the folk here know the rules and know what has to happen.
You would hope. It's not a guarantee. We're not guaranteeing it, folks.
Yeah.
It's just, you would hope. Tang very smooth with the disc there, gets it off, and now break side movement. But it's stunted slightly by a great mark there. It's a good mark by Gauthier, Christian Gauthier there. Huynh now changing things with his own fakes. Over to Tang, 5 yards away, Tang. Hits Chung for the score, and they'll take half.
Well, reset took that time to hone in what they needed to do. Maybe, went to the booting screen. AB, start select.
I was waiting when you were going to bring that out, Clay. I was waiting for it. When are you going to bring a video game reference? You decided to do it just now.
Oh, well, you got to bide your time.
It's true. You can't do it right away. You got to keep the fans in suspense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, it's halftime. Montreal going to be searching for some answers here. They're down 8-5, but like I said, they start on offense. We're going to be back in about, 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Halftime break?
7 minutes half, so we'll be back in
6
5.
minutes and 54 seconds. We'll be back. We'll see you then. Second half action coming at you. It's Pool C action in the Mixed Masters division here at CUC in beautiful Waterloo, Ontario, Rim Park, the home of this tournament. Friday to Sunday, maybe you're watching at work or at home. We thank you for tuning in. Theo Wan here with Clay Howlett. Clay, for those maybe that just joining us, what's been the story of this game so far?
Well, Flam came out firing, took the lead early, and Reset called the timeout to gather themselves, discuss what they needed to do, and since then have basically been on the break train after a few holes.
Yeah, all on board the break train.
All on board the break train. And seen sort of this adaptation from Reset to deal with Flam Rose's offense and how to stifle it. In contrary, Flam Rose is still playing kind of a one-dimensional game, really trying to push it up the open side. So we'll see if Flam Rose can adapt as this kind of collapsing around the handler defense continues.
Nice grab from Massé. Keeping things alive for Flam Rose. No Kaiser on this point. It's been a big-time handler for them. Little give-and-go action. Trin working with Rate Boulian. Trin going cross-field. Delivers a nice throw over to Denis Villeneuve. Trin had caught 2 goals earlier. He's going to dial up the assist here. And we hinted at this before the break, Clay, that it is potentially a dangerous lead. And so, yeah, you just never know, especially because now they got the hold on offense.
Yeah, that's right. You don't really, I don't know, you don't want to take your foot off the gas, as they say. You don't want to get complacent or comfortable. But, you know, you're saying, well, we're up 3. It's like, well, yeah, but they just scored on a hold. There's only 2. They have that, you know, that chance themselves, them being Flam Rose, to talk and regroup at halftime. So it's a whole new half. And 3 points isn't that much. I did like there how Flam Rose was ready to move the disc back to the break side. They didn't do it very often, but it was enough that then they could roll downhill back over to the open side. Work it to the break side, get a few easier open side passes off. Work it back to the break side, get a few easier open side passes off, which paid off for them. So it was good to see that break side usage.
This pole going to roll near into midfield. Chung to pick up. Joey Chung. With 2 Chungs on the field, I'm going to reference them by their first name, you know. Go a little first name basis here. That's going to be slapped down by Veronique Couture. And so now, hey, this is what we talked about. You give up the hold, and now look. Potentially some force confusion. D'Amato zipping things over. Thought about it was Louis Lemieux. That is a break for Montreal. LaChance Touchette getting the goal.
Break point on the break side. Really wanting to see that from Flam. That strategy is going to pay off. They need to keep pushing that break side to get the results. And just like that, Theo, we're within 1. That deceptive lead vanishing.
So we're going to get into a little, you know, I'm going to go inside. For those who know what I'm about to say, inside baseball, little analytics, little meta here, because there is an element of the gamesmanship here in terms of the score. So currently as it stands, Reset is +1 because they beat Dinner at 4 by 1. Dinner at 4 is +1 because they won by 2 and lost by 1. Montreal is -2. So point diff is going to come into play here. And so we're going to see what happens. I believe Montreal has to win, by my count, they have to win by 2. Because if they win by 2, they would be 0. And then Reset would be -1. So that's a little game theory.
You can find this all on Theo's website, ultimatesavant.com, everybody.
Ultimate Savant. Well, there's Altiverse. I'm going to give a shout out to Alti-Verse. This is more for USAU tournaments, but if you want to look up a player and where they've played, I think, Clay, you might be up there with Victoria Surf. But if you played a USAU tournament, your name will be on that list, and it will tell you like what tournaments this player has played in, what
have
teams.
Their stats?
Not stats like
oh,
assists,
thank goodness.
Like,
okay, cool.
They have like if you played there. That's what they have. Now, same O-line basically back on the field, maybe a couple subs. See Tang on the field and McKee. But it's Huynh still there. Huynh looking deep. Looking for Selena Chan. Great throw from Huynh to stop the momentum of Flammes Rose. That's his 4th assist of the game.
Well, just a quick vertical split and send to get things moving for reset. They've been expecting a match defense pretty much all day. I think we saw one zone look from Flammes Rose, but you know, the conditions right now, it's sunny, it's hot, and the wind is a little gusty at best. So zone looks haven't really been able to stop those big throws like that. So I wasn't surprised to see person.
But that, you talk about killing momentum, that's one way to do it because the other team just got a break and you're going to stymie them with just a quick huck hold. That's always very debilitating as a defense to see that. It's demoralizing, you know?
Yeah, you want to get out there and do the work, right? And after you're scored on after 2 passes, you're kind of feeling like, well, getting ramped up for nothing.
For a first-year team, Reset got a lot of cheers out here. I know they got experience getting cheers out at multiple tournaments. They took first at Grandmasters tournament earlier this season, second at Jazz Fest, and Jazz Fest had senior teams, meaning any age group, not just Masters. So they got some reps in them. They also do a little practice. I think Montreal does too.
Pretty disappointed haven't heard any video game cheers, though.
Yeah, that is true. Kennel just going around the defender and Al Young. Over to Trin. Trin's had an assist, 2 goals to his name. Needs something. Finds Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve going up the line to Kaiser. Kaiser power position, little inside. Ooh! That is pretty. That is a pretty throw.
That was a very pretty throw. And you're not going to be able to defend that. You're already looking over your left shoulder, trying to stop what you think is the open side, and then an IO backhand to the break side.
Oh, nasty.
Especially when the offense already has that little separation on you. Just a brilliant put by Kaiser there.
Yeah, Herman Kaiser. Argentinian, we've been told, but lived in Great Britain. Played with the Masters team in Royan, France at the beach tournament there, World Beach, back in 2019. So how's that fun fact for you? Kaiser, big-time part of this Montreal team. You see that right there with that throw. And it could have been an outside-in throw, right? Oftentimes throwers will take that choice, but he just decided to put a little bit of inside edge, let it ride right into the receiver's hands.
And when you're the defender, if you see Kaiser there, he was standing in the backhand stance, you're thinking that's going to come over the shoulder that you're already looking at and that you might have a line on it, right?
Exactly.
But then when he comes across and throws it to the other side, you pretty much go, oh, shoot.
I'm toasted.
Yeah.
That's basically what you say to yourself. There's not much you can do there.
No.
Defenders behind. There's no poach in the lane. It's kind of a shorter field, right? We're compressing to the end zone. This throw is going to take an unlucky turn that's going to put them past midfield for reset. So an unlucky turn if you're a Montreal fan in the audience. Little Air Canada action. We've seen this play called many a time for Canadian teams.
Yeah, very popular. Seems to work every time, oddly.
Huynh looking deep. Kwok rising up. Is there going to be a call?
Well, it's a goal. It was just that Kwok went up high and early. I mean, aside from being forced to fall down, that was kind of a poster. So an amazing play by him there. And he looks like he's going to be okay.
And a card's going to be given out. I believe that's Christian Gauthier going to receive the card number 33 for the defensive coverage / the bid. A little late and kind of undercutting Kwok as he was rising up for the score there.
Yeah, blue card signaling a team misconduct foul. If your team accrues 3 of them in a game, you receive penalties between points on the third, when you get the third one, that is. They do not follow you throughout games. TMFs are only per game. So usually a blue card can be awarded in a situation like that early, or as just as a firm reminder or indication from our observers that we have to avoid any kind of contact like that.
Can't do it. Can't do that. So we're going to let the players know. And I like that observers have been able to do that and take control in that way to take the game back. You just want to see players, of course, making plays that have good body control and keeping this a safe environment for all. As a Masters player myself, Clay, you know, we got mileage on the legs, so you got to be protected in the air or wherever you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Things are fragile now.
The knees start to creak a little bit more. You know, it's hard to get up. It's a different life here in the Masters division, Clay. That's all I'm saying. Kaiser, thought about the huck, going to go underneath. Now just going to hands a Kennel. Kaiser's just been an anchor in the backfield. If they need a reset, he's there. And as I say that, he gets it right now.
Yeah.
Marked by Zhao. Trin trying to make the grab a little bit difficult. And reset now on the move. KPL with the disc. Finds Chung. Chung gonna dial it up. Good defense there from Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, I think Adam Clay might have taken an elbow in the face.
Did that affect the play, though, there, Clay?
Yeah,
or is it going to go stay with Montreal, you think?
I think he'll stay with Montreal. I think Clay is indicating that the contact happened kind of incidentally there, right? It seemed that Denis Villeneuve definitely had the read on that and made the D. It was just in some unfortunate physical contact.
Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve loading up the lefty flick. A great throw. Finding Cynthia Parot for the score. That was nice.
Parot just took that lane and muscled her way through, not letting the defender who was catching up kind of get over top of her. Really stood her ground to make that play. 10-9 for reset.
Hey, reset's content just to win by one. If this is the score that stays, they would get automatically second because they beat Dinner at 4 already. Dinner at 4 had beat this Montreal team. So they're content with just this score line. If you're Flammes Rose, you are not. And you got to find a second gear, maybe third gear, as you try to make this, I guess, comeback attempt we'd call it, because they've already kind of gone there. Now they just got to finish the comeback.
Yep.
They brought it back to within one.
Of course, in our previous game, we saw the score getting to this level, and it was approaching the cap, but keeping the game within one had given Forever Young a chance to stay in it with Cranky. But Cranky kind of sealed the deal by going up 2 closer to the cap. But we still have a lot of time. We're 52 minutes into this game.
I'm just wondering when the crossover is going to take place, you know, because you've seen what Kaiser can do. I haven't seen him play a lot of defense, but you've seen what he can do in the backfield. Are they going to need someone like that to come in and power? Realistically, I think they just need to get a couple more break chances, because when they've gone them, they were able to score without necessarily the crossover that you need. So they just need to get another turn. Huyn's been dialing up some buttery, some sweet throws, 5 assists right now. He's leading the team. Nice little inside shimmy move to Chung. Terrence Chung now faking off Joey Chung. Tang's throw. It was blocked, but then caught by Huyn, and now Tang bursting deep. Up the line for Joey Chung. Over to Terrence. Terrence. Not sure what happened there. Two Montreal players trying to get a little roll action, but it's not going to work out.
Message didn't come through on the roll for the uninitiated. The roll is if your check suddenly goes up the line close to the thrower, you're asking the marker on the thrower to drop off and take them, and you do a switch. And didn't happen, which left receiver wide open for reset. 11-9.
It's been clean holds for this reset team into half and out of half. Except for that one time they got broken, every time they've held, it's been clean. So they haven't been giving Flammes Rose some chances to get those breaks otherwise. So they're just trying to hold them off here. That 8-5 scoreline and a half, it could have been, dead to rights a little bit, but Montreal's fought their way back. Still trying to punch a little bit more right now.
It could. I mean, yeah, like for a team, too, that's talked a lot about their development and, how much they want to challenge and everything. This is exactly how they have to challenge themselves. You're not going to get better and win games if, after going down a few points, you give up. So they've really shown that heart to stay in this.
Kaiser knocking down the pole. Center to disc to Rate Boulien. Kaiser just gets denied at the point of attack by Zhao. This could be a real turning point right now. Just a thunderous block.
With the opposite foot, he came around with his right foot to get in front.
Al Young looking for something. Gonna go around, finds Ip. Juan now with it. This is red zone territory, a chance to really punctuate this game right now. Restoring that 3-point lead. This throw is going to hang and slapped away by Kaiser. I think the coach in you was saying you got to catch that because you've seen sometimes players will come down with it, but
oh yeah,
for Flammes Rose, they're going to stick with it. Denis Villeneuve, the southpaw, reset. And now disc over in the hands of Parot.
Open side, open side, open side.
That's been a lot of that right now. You talked about how they don't hit the arounds. You see that right now. Big mark of Bosian trying to make things difficult. Kaiser, a little cheeky scuba finding Trin. We saw an inside throw to Trin earlier that Trin couldn't reel in, and it was a little difficult of a catch. Good effort from Zhao's got to get up because Kaiser going to be on the move. Not in just yet, Perot. Resets to Trin. Few yards away. Now into the safe hands of Kaiser. Kaiser going to go around, finds right there Boulien for the score and the hold. They needed that one.
11-10, anyone's match, still lots of time.
And Clay, this was bonus coverage if I'm not mistaken. This wasn't on the original stream schedule, so kudos to getting this stream up because we're getting some fantastic action right now.
Yeah.
Bonus style.
Yeah, and you'd love to see that, especially with you can never predict how the pools are going to go, right? Like we hadn't expected on paper when you looked at the seeds and everything like that we might have a game that could result in a three-way tie, right? So
still could. We just got to, Montreal got to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, but you love to see that, and this is the sort of, the sort of story, that the drama that you want to get out to the masses, that one of these teams will relive in glory and another will just forget the URL, perhaps.
Etched in eternity, winning this game on the live stream. They'll remember it forever. Sammy Grenier set to pull. Female matching point here. This is very interesting right now, Clay. I'm very curious about this. Dan Huynh not on the field for this offensive point, and he's been carrying them from that side of the disc. So, very interesting.
Very interesting. I mean, you still got some speedsters out there. The women on the reset O-line have just been on fire this game. So fast, so athletic.
You have a very capable thrower as well, and Chris McKee. Got a lot of length to him, so that's really going to help out. We're in the double threes. If you watch Friday Night Lights, the same number as Tim Reagan's. If anyone gets that reference, give a shout out on the chat. Little lefty. It's going to work out to Jess Gia. Gia finding Terrence, but Terrence Chung looked before he caught the disc. Sometimes that happens. And now we'll see what Montreal does because they do have timeouts.
We've seen that error a lot today.
Big fakes here from Nadon. Nadon going with the scuba crossfield. That was wild. But McKee's going to get his hands on it. That was a scuba, right, Clay? My eyes don't deceive me.
It's a scuba, or it was, what, it might have been an upside-down backhand.
It was something wild. I think it was an
upside-down backhand, honestly.
Yeah. McKee needs a reset. Gets one in Joey Chung. Now gets it in the give and go. Power position. Little switch from Montreal to gummy things up. You can see how the offense is stagnated a little bit without Dan Huynh on the field and a block layout from Nadon. He threw that scuba earlier that was ill-advised. but he'll throw the assist here, finds Christian Gauthier, and we got a tie game, folks.
So Sebastian Nadal just decided he was just going to switch and take anybody underneath on that last possession by reset. He went to Trung, he went back to the middle, and then making a huge layout block to, man, tie up this game. The excitement, I'm in it. I don't know what to, what do I tell Reset? What do I tell Flam? I don't know, really.
What I'm telling Reset is they need to put Dan Huynh on the field because he has, by my count, 5 assists, and you can't sit Michael Jordan in the big moments of the game, and they did it just right there, and they got burned for it. So now it's tied. Let's figure out who called the timeout. Did you see, Clay?
Yes, it was Reset that called the timeout.
Okay, so they've used their first of 2. Curiously, Flam on Rose hasn't used any in this game, so they don't get 4, of course. They still get 2 in this half.
They still get 2. I mean, you said it earlier. They were electing to instead just flip their lines.
Yeah. Well, when they got broken twice, yes,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and you know, and Reset has been using their timeout. So, you know, Flam, I mean, is making the best of it right here, huddling up and everything. Timeouts are only 70 seconds, and offense has to signal readiness from a pull in 60. So it's not like your league ultimate where timeouts can last a solid 3-4 minutes. It's off to the races here in these timeouts. So you know, it's just a chance to quickly regroup, come down with 2 or 3 key things that you're going to do for the rest of this game, and just where you've had success and just try and knock that out. Let go of a lot of the details and just say, we just need to do A and B. And perhaps if it's enough, you know, if everyone's brain is still there, perhaps C. But, well, hey, they only have 2 buttons on their controller, A and B. Just got to do A and B.
It's true. And remember what I said earlier, Clay. This inside baseball, but they can. Let's say Montreal takes the lead here. They cannot win by 1. They need to win by 2, because if they win by 1, they're still finished 4th in the pool.
Man, and that is so tough too when you're in a close game like this. You want the victory, but like
you need the victory, but you need the victory a certain way. That's why time's going to be a factor. We're at by my count, the 4:32 mark. So this game started at 3:30 local time. So we just got under 23 minutes. Is that right? Am I mathing?
13 actually.
13.
Oh no, wait, 85 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. 20.
Am I right?
My bad. Yeah.
The math is mathing, as the kids say. Okay, they've listened to me because Huynh's now on the field. That throw to McKee is going to be received. And that is just taken away by Cloutier. Can Montreal take the lead? Reads it for the score. What a grab. Louis Lemieux.
Wow. So we saw this momentum shift early in the game. I mean, Reset, this is no problem for them, but earlier they took that timeout and then it was all aboard the break train. But now, after a timeout, Tang looked like he had sized up a good strike, but Flam has been really heads up, you know, in that that underspace of the disc, you know, that 5 to 10 yard up from wherever the thrower is. They've been so active, and that's 2 points in a row now where heads-up defense has stopped the next pass to generate a point.
3 straight points, in fact, for Montreal. No O-line crossover, so they're electing to stick with that, and Nadon got the layout block earlier. He's about to pull now. So remember, Montreal, even if they win by 1, they would not advance into the bracket. They got to win by 2. They got to win by 2.
Got to win by 2.
I hope my math is mathing, because otherwise then we're in trouble.
Well, you know how terrible it is to win a game and then find out you've lost in the 3-way tie point diff.
Okay, you know what's worse? I know one specific member, Andrew Basher's not going to like this comment, but we need to not have this hard cap at Nationals. I don't know what happened here, but it is the fact that the team that loses scores the last point. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. Gia now, nice undercut. Resets it in the hands of Huynh. Smooth around a tank, but too high. Fable in coverage. Haven't said his name too much, but he's going to provide some pressure. And now Nadon. This is big now. We saw an ill-advised scuba earlier from this player, 46. Good grab there. Keeping things going. Around the horn, and it's going to work out. Sami Grenier receiving the disc from Barrett Bilodeau. His second straight assist.
13-11 if Flam holds the rest of the game. And your analytics are correct.
Yeah, I'm going to double check it because I hope I'm right here.
Well, see, what's interesting, I mean, they're 2 points away from a win, right? And they have to win by 2 points. So they literally just have to hold the rest of the game. Score your 0 points and you're in. So, yeah, hearing the call from Flam Rose, the game is yours. I mean, it's yours to lose right now. All you have to do at this point is get your holds, and you will advance through the bracket if our point.
Yeah, because they would be at 0, and reset, who's at +1 will be -1.
Yeah. So, is this that's how the expression works? This is your game to lose now, right? It is.
You've
Flames
scored
on
4
Rose,
straight.
they got to just hold their 0 points, and they're in. But, like,
yeah.
It's all up to their offense now. I mean, you can get that break for some good measure, but
Essentially, a team's season is riding on this next few points because one team is not going to make it into the bracket. Their hopes of carrying that trophy on Sunday will be dashed. Taken away like a thief in the night. One of these teams are going to have that happen to them right now, so stay tuned.
It's a pretty nice trophy, you know. I carried it around in 2018.
I've never touched it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't know. Scuba look, finding Chung. Chung's throw too low, and things really starting to unravel here for this Toronto squad. This Toronto outfit in trouble right now. Denis Villeneuve has crossed over. Kaiser Kettle, is this basically the O-line? It is.
Yeah, shortening the bench this point in the game. I mean, you're 2 points away from winning and that point if you need.
I'll tell you, Bilodeau is going to find Trin, but there's a pick. I do not think it affected because that was
stay.
downfield. Yep. Clay, earlier, Montreal looked like they might have been dead to rights. I'm going to be honest with you. They've really shown some moxie and fight here. Trin.
Yeah, Flam on Rose is going to call a timeout.
I like that. I like that call. Coach,
You're smart.
Coach Clay, you like that call?
I do like this call. I mean, look where you are. You're 5 yards outside of the end zone. You know the stakes in the game right now is you have to maintain that 2-point lead, and you're 2 points away from the win. Why not set up an end zone that's going to work here?
Hey, you want to go more inside baseball for a second? If they win by 4, they would be +2, and they would take second in the pool. So they're even thinking more than that. They're thinking
so
we could get second in the pool because then they would be +2, and dinner at 4 would be +1. So that's more inside ultimate for you. How's that?
I love that.
Hey, that's what they're thinking about, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, because.
But if, you know, you don't want to fly too high, Chris.
Hey, hopefully in the audience you get that reference. You don't want to fly too close to the sun. It's true. It's true.
So, probably an ISO play. I mean, I would think. There's no count. They're in good position.
Yeah, we'll see who the ISO is going to be. I've seen Denis Villeneuve make a lot of plays for them. Kaiser, of course, going to be the reset. I have a feeling Kaiser's not necessarily going to activate right away. He's more going to be just there as a safety valve. You see some dinner at 4 players. They're very curious of this result because this could sink them into third potentially. So that's why they got their eyes on this. Kaiser going up line. Gets a disc in a very small space. Calls a foul to stop play.
Yeah, kind of tangled up on that catch. Their arms crossed up. Can't really call contact when you're literally attached to each other.
They were tied up there. Kaiser, doorstep, needs something. Reset. That's a score. Denis Villeneuve with the grab. 14-11, 1 point away from the victory.
All right. So like you said, they could get the break here. go up even higher in the pool, but
okay, yeah, I'm gonna throw Coach Theo here, and also just like media side Theo. I think you go for the kill and try to win by 4, because then you get second in the pool. Why not? Because let's say you don't get it, you call a timeout, then you put your O-line back out there and get a hold to win the game. But I think you go for it right now.
Yeah, you know you're in where you can go for the kill anyway. I mean, you're 1 point away from the game, like the win. You want to take it all the way. No, I don't believe there's a timeout right now. They're just grouping up to call the lines. A lot of teams, Quebec teams specifically, actually, I've noticed a trend. Comes out a lot of Montreal is grouping up at the brick mark as an entire team to call your line. That way you're not unable to find anyone. Everyone knows they're in. Everyone knows the plan. It's very, very smart. I'm finding in BC it's almost impossible for us to train ourselves to do it because you always forget. But Montreal hasn't figured it out.
So right now, Denis Villeneuve is going out onto the field. We've said it already, but if this team were to win right now by 4, they would take second in the pool. So that's what you need to know.
Yeah. Third in the pool if they win by 2.
Third in the pool if they win by 2, and I guess if they were to win by 1,
they're out.
They would be out. Same offensive line. I guess that is untrue because Jen Lamb is now on the field and Dan Huynh will pick up, but Zhao, Bodzetta out there. I like how they have like little names on their jerseys. Just seeing that now. Zhao in isolation. Denis Villeneuve is hanging on the deep space.
Yeah, good poach.
Needs something. Oh, that was almost a block from D'Amato. Inside shot to Zhao. Zhao has Juan going deep. Fakes it, needs a reset. Finds hand of Dan Huynh. Bodzetta now, zipping it over. They're going fast. Zhao faking the around. Has Bodzetta poached. That hammer's going to hang. But it's going to be caught by Bodzetta without even jumping.
That's giving me flashbacks. I hate that.
You don't like that, eh?
No, he did it to my team like 8 times. But, you know, he saw he was poached, stuck his hands out. He's just like, throw it to me. I will win in the air. So, okay, Flam Rose, not going to win by 4. Not going to take.
So I believe Dinner at 4 has wrapped up second in the pool because they cannot win by more than 4.
Okay, so that means Flam Rose, you score on O, you're in. And they're going to have 2 shots at that.
That is untrue. By the way, Dinner at 4 doesn't necessarily have the second in the pool if Reset were to win this game.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
If Reset wins this game, then Dinner at 4 goes into third. So that is.
But they're in no matter what.
Who? Dinner at 4? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Gia with the pole. Kaiser and Co. trying to seal this game, book their ticket into the pre-quarter round, knocking out this Toronto team. Reset. Trin, marked by Huynh. Zhao poached off. Mate Boulian had some fakes. Kaiser now. Nice little high release. Finds Perot. This is the season here for Reset, trying to keep their bracket dreams alive. Forcing that all-elusive 3-way tie. Kaiser needs something. He's locked up, but gets free. Was locked up temporarily there.
Temporarily.
You can see how the sideline of Reset, they're really into it because they know this is it. They could be knocked out here. Here, let's go chance. Kaiser free Reset, gonna take it. Why not? Finding Page. Kaiser now power position. Been very calm here, finds Kennel. Kennel high release, finds Trin. Trin, is he gonna dial up a hammer of his own? Thought about it. Gets bumped. Not sure if there was a call.
Oh, that's good play on. That was smart. And that's it.
That's it, Clay. Massé with the grab. They win by 3, and you can see by the way they're celebrating, they realize they're heading to the bracket. They knock out Reset from bracket contention. Wow.
Massive comeback by Flam. You could tell they wanted it. They stayed positive the whole game. You know, like every single timeout that Reset took, halftime or whatever, they were just with it with each other to stay in this game, and it really paid off. Wow, Theo, you know, with a half at 8-5, I had to say.
Hey, dangerous lead. I said it.
Yeah, dangerous lead. And how many times have you seen an 8-5 game or an 8-4 game just like that's kind of it, right? But massive comeback, especially to win 15-12. You know, scoring 7 points and holding the other team to 4. Huge half.
So what's interesting, too, is Dinner at 4 and Flammes Rose are tied here with +1. But I'm going to guesstimate here because they would be tied, right? +1. But because Dinner at 4 beat them head-to-head, I assume they're going to get the higher spot.
We assume so.
That sounds about right?
Yeah. I'm sure we'll learn about rules that you and I don't know and how we're just way off.
I'm sure Mr. Andrew Basher's hammering the keyboard right now in the chat. I can't see it, Andrew, so... Hearing from Survey Sandra, there are 8 tiers of different qualifying nuances in this situation and tiebreakers. That is true. But, Clay, let's put a bow on this contest. We're going to put the stream to bed here, but let's put a bow on it. What did you see out there? Summarize what you saw.
I saw Reset figure out Flammes on Rose really early. And Flam's adjustments didn't come very quickly, but they eventually came. And with a little bit more grit, started using the whole field, and then just with the heart started making some huge plays, really poaching the underneath space and took it away from Reset. And Reset just didn't have an answer for Flam's energy. They just kind of took over, and it was their game to lose, their game to win. It was their game all over. So, you know, just seeing a massive display of heart and grit and desire from Flammes Rose today.
They were down 11-10 at one point. They got the hold, and that wasn't a clean hold at that. Then they got 4 straight breaks. And so it was just like you said, a really good showing from this Montreal team. I honestly at some point thought they might have been dead to rights. They couldn't get those turns. Couldn't do it. They got that layout block that kind of started things. They had an ill-advised hammer. They were still able to get that one back, able to punch it in and take advantage of some short field turnovers, and here we are. Flammes Rose heading to the bracket. They're pretty pumped about that. You can see that right now.
Yeah. Well, so
that concludes it. Clay, you sign us off. You've been here all day. You sign us off.
That concludes it. Yeah, Theo, thank you for joining us for the stream.
Appreciate you.
Hopefully we'll see you playing on Sunday morning.
Hey, that's the hope. That's the hope. Carbon, we're trying to get to the finals. Let's go.
Yeah. Tomorrow there will be 4 streamed games, 2 mixed and 2 women's. We won't see an open game until Sunday, as it is a very small division with only 5 teams. But we will be with you tomorrow. Our first stream will be starting around 10:45, 10:15. Thank you, 10:15 a.m. Eastern time. So thank you for tuning in today and watching. Catch more action from the Canadian Ultimate Championship Masters Edition 2024 here in Waterloo tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.